Hey there everybody, James here, and back with another watch review. This one was an unexpected one for me because I wasn't planning on this, but ended up getting it. So this is the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra. It's a 38mm case, and there's a lot to love about this watch, and so we'll dig into that a little bit. Like I said, previous to this, I own two Rolexes, still have them, and just needed a third piece to add to the collection here, to be a little bit of a different wear and a different fit. So smaller here, 38mm case. As far as the thickness goes, it's just over 12mm thick, and the lugs are not big by any means. You're looking at about 45mm lug to lug, so definitely fits on a smaller size wrist. If you have a smaller wrist and you're trying to find a watch that would work for you, this is an excellent one. And again, this is the 38mm variant. I believe Omega offers a larger variant of this as well, so if you like a slightly larger one than this, that one is going to be available as well through Omega, with all pretty much the same specs. So we've got a stainless steel case. We've got this gray, kind of slate gray strap here with the white stitching. Looks really, really nice. Works well with kind of the color scheme of the watch. On the dial, we've got a lot going on that I like here. So we've got the indices around the edge there for the seconds. So we've got the numeric values there. The actual hour markers themselves are part of what I think makes this dial what it is. You can see as I kind of turn it a little bit and the light hits it, they have a really nice shine to them, but they also have this gray inserts and a little V shape there that matches the strap on the watch, which I think is really cool. Everything is loomed on the dial, which I also really like. And then you have the background as well. So the background on the dial really made to look like a wood texture, so almost like you would have on a ship or on a yacht, which I really think is cool. And it's a nice touch, unique to Omega from what I've seen. I haven't seen another dial pattern that looks quite the way that this one does, and it really glows well in the light, which I think is really awesome. So you can see the hour and minute hands here, also loomed. You've got that real precise seconds hand moving around there. Date is down here at the 6 o'clock position, so that's the newest feature for the latest models. They, I believe, moved the date from the 3 o'clock to the 6 o'clock, so that's how you know it's a little bit newer. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the dial. Got the Seamaster right on there. It's pretty fantastic. So let's take a look at the watch here. So again, the case is stainless steel. You can see it's got a little bit of a bezel there, but not a huge one. Again, I'm used to Rolex, where bezels are kind of what they do. I mean, I have a Sky Dweller and a Yachtmaster too, both of which, you have the ring command bezel that moves on it. This one, completely stationary, much thinner, much smaller, and also much lower as well. So it's kind of a nice change of pace, a little bit of a smaller fit for me, which is fine. So then if we go along the strap here, when we get to the edge, you do have your full deployant clasp, and I like that the way this one folds is it just, the excess strap just tucks right in, kind of like this. Again, it's set pretty small for me because I have very tiny wrists. I'm actually waiting on a smaller version of the strap because I am on the smallest setting, and still it's a little bit bigger than I would like it to wear, or a little bit looser I should say. But they do have the holes in the strap, so if you need to adjust it, you have the ability to do so. So the way that it closes is just like this, with a nice snap there. And you can see it's got the Omega logo on the clasp, and then this is a double triggered clasp. So if you do one side of this, it doesn't really release, so it does require you to push both sides to open the clasp. So then coming back around to the actual watch itself, let's throw it on the wrist here just so I can show you what it looks like. So again, my wrists are pretty small. They're a little over, just barely over 6 inches in circumference. So this is what it looks like on my wrist. So you can see, not a huge presence by any means. Doesn't wear very tall. Would definitely fit underneath, a shirt or a cuff or whatever you want to wear it with. And I really love the way the light hits it. You can see that shine from the indices to the hands. I just think it looks very bright, very sporty, which is pretty much what I'm looking for in this watch. So let's just take a look at the actual movement itself here. So on the back, you can see we've got the Omega Master Co-Axial 8800 movement. So you're looking at a little over 50 hours power reserve. You can see it's also 150 meters water resistant as well, which is great. So, it's meant to be an aquatic watch, clearly. So if you need to use it for that, it is great for that. And then on the strap here, you can also see that it's got some raised areas on the strap just to create a little bit of gap between, the strap and your wrist for ventilation and also for a little bit of a better fit. And then you can see the rotor in there as well. So this watch, very straightforward as far as how to use it. So let's go ahead and do this. So if I unscrew the crown, I am in the winding position. So I'm just winding the watch. And then if I pull it out one more, now I am going to be on the date. And the date on this watch is unidirectional. It's not bidirectional, so it only goes one direction. It also is not an annual calendar, so it will not differentiate for you between a 30 or a 31 day month. So you will have to adjust this one basically every other month at the least. So just so you know about that. So what I'm going to do here is I've got it set to the 17th because today's the 18th. And then I'm going to pull it out one more time. You can see that hacks the movement, stops the seconds, so those are stopped. And then what I'm going to do is get us to today. So I'm going to get us to 18 because that's where we are at. And I got to drive it all the way forward here. So again, some watches will give you the option to have a bidirectional date. This one does not. But fortunately you don't have to set it too often, so that helps. So I'm just getting us back here. When you're setting the date on these watches, typically what you always want to do is set it to the day before today and then use the actual hour and minutes to drive the date forward, just so that you know that you're in AM or PM depending on what time of day it is. So it is currently, it's 10:58. So we're going to get this guy right up here, push it back in, and you can see the movement re-engages there. So I'm going to push the crown back in now to get my water resistance back. So that's screwed in. Here's the crown. Pretty simple, nothing too crazy. And that, you guys, is the Aqua Terra. So again, 38 millimeter case. With this purchase, again, I was pretty happy with the watches that I had, but was looking for something a little sportier and a little smaller, just so if I'm working out or going and doing something where I don't want to wear one of the other ones, just gives me a little bit more of an option. So this is the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra. Would definitely recommend it. It's a great piece, and again, if you have smaller wrists, it's also a great fit for that. Shout out again to the guys over at Watchbox. I'm not a paid affiliate or anything like that, but this is my third purchase from them, and every time, great service. The pricing is really reasonable, and they kind of go the whole 9 yards to make sure you're taken care of with your purchase. So, thanks to all the guys over there for doing a lot of great educational content and selling some great watches. So hope you guys have enjoyed. So feel free to share your comments, like, or subscribe, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day and wear your watch as well. Talk to you later.